Alright, this is my chicken incubator setup. As you can see, it's in the house. I don't leave them outside or anything anymore. I tried it, I think, once, and just couldn't get the temperature right on the incubator. The incubator's got to stay, you know, right at or within a degree of 99.5, and it's real hard when it's outside to hatch them if you don't get the humidity right. Like this incubator right here, the top one here, that's got the egg turner in it, and that's where they stay for 18 days in that thing. And then I rotate them to this one, and as you can see in the glass and all that, the humidity is high. I usually run, these are 18 years old inside this here. I just put them yesterday, and they'll stay in there the remaining 3 days. It takes 21 days for a chicken, and the humidity is as high as I can get it. Like right now, I doubt you can see it, but I'll tell you, on the temperature gauge on that thing, it's 83% humidity and 99 degrees. So it's right at where I need it to be. And then this one here is another one, and it's got the egg turner in it, and it's full of eggs. So that's what you do. 3 days before, you put them in the hatching one. It just works out for me, and there's no egg turner in here. They're all just laying down, and I've been hearing a lot of peeping, and you can see, probably can't see, but anyway, there's about 10 trying to peep through, but I just have that book on top there to keep the temperature. These things are touchy, these incubators. Like I said, it's got to stay right at like 99.5 within a degree, or your hatch rate goes way down. Goes to 103 or past, and you're pretty much frying them. But let me set this down. This is my brooder set up right here. Nothing technical about this. This thing I've had for years. It's old, and I've used it many times. There are all kinds of holes drilled in the side and stuff for different water bottles and things that I had that broke or didn't work. I don't know why I put a roost in there. It was a long time ago when I first started doing this. If they're roosting in here, they need to go outside. You know, that's just, but, you know, at this point, why take it out? But my whole setup here is just, well, I got my thing that holds my firewood back there with that piece of wood like that. I just got a piece of scrap wood that's like 3 feet long and 2 clamps holding my brooder lamp. So that's how I adjust it with that. You know, I wouldn't screw it in or anything, because then I can't get this to go up and down. I could with the cord or something like that, but I'd rather use the clamp. It's good. But this, now this is how I do it. You know, not everybody does it the same way, but it all pretty much follows the same guidelines. You got them in your incubator to start with the egg turner. You can do this with one incubator. There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to take all the eggs out 3 days before they hatch, and take the turner out, because you don't want them hatching in the turner. That's just bad for them. But 3 days before they hatch, put them in your hatching incubator. The reason I got this like that is because this one, I got the temperature super high, the humidity super high. Like in this one, your first 18 days, the temperature needs to be 99.5, then the humidity at least around 60. And how I do that is, see this syringe right here? And this cup right here is full of hot tap water. And I just put like 3 or 4, and it's got a tube going into the bottom of this thing. And it's in little channels in this thing that were made in this thing where it won't leak. But that's how I do this one. Then I use the same syringe, and I go in these holes right here, and right underneath there's a plate with a sponge, just a regular sponge at every corner of this thing. And that's how you get the temperature, the humidity high. And the big thing for getting the humidity high is using hot tap water, as hot as you can get it. You know, not blasting hot, but at least 100 and something degrees, you know. And then when these guys hatch, I let them sit in there till they're completely dry. I mean, like they're peeping out right now. Even if one guy hatches right now, I'm not just going to throw him into the brooder because he needs to completely dry out, or he'll pretty much die. Well, it has happened. But this whole thing is full of French black copper marins, and I think, I can't remember how many eggs. I'd like to say 41, something like that. However many the Turner will hold, I forgot. I counted the other night, but I don't remember nothing. But once they completely dry out and they look dry, like say 1 or 2 hatches, and then pretty soon like 3 or 4 hatch, and half of them are wet and half of them are dry, I'll still open this as fast as I can, get my wife to grab them, and then we'll put them in the brooder. And the first, you know, they're a day old or whatever, and they're going in here, I don't use chips. I use paper towels. They're right there. And I just lay the whole thing, just one good layer of paper towels, and I have water for them. And the temperature has to be, that's why I got this with a 250 watt lamp. The temperature has to be 90 degrees in here the first week. Well, this is how I do it. 90 degrees the first week, 85 the second week, and then when you get to the temperature like it is outside, like right now it's like 70 something, they're ready to go outside. So in a couple weeks, you know, and it's better for them to do it like that anyway, because they feather out. Like if they go outside and you know, like in 2 weeks and it's 70 degrees outside, and you know it's been 80 in here, they'll feather out faster and be strong. But my setup in here is just a Junker temperature gauge I got from the dollar store or something like that, and I'm not really worried about humidity after that. At this point, after they get to this point, of course. And the first hour they're alive, I'll give them water. That's it. I'll make sure every single one of them drinks water before I even throw food in there, because if you throw the food in there, they'll start eating and they'll dry up. You know, some of them will die. So you got to make sure they all drink, and how you do that is you just grab them and you know, grab them nice and make it sound so brutal, but you just put their head in the little water, like say this is the waterer right here, but this is the feeder, and you just touch their beak on the water, and they'll get it. They'll figure it out. Their instincts are way better than humans. And after that, they're good, you know, and let them drink for a little while and let everybody get a drink, and then put food out there and let them eat. That's when the mess starts. Yeah. Hatching this many, though, is pretty breathtaking inside a house. I gotta admit, like, it'll be kind of stinky, but not too bad. But we're used to it, and my wife's cool with that. She knows I love chickens, and I gotta do it, you know. But I'm excited about this hatch because all these, every single one of them are black coppers, and like I showed you outside, I got 5 girls, and so that's like 25 eggs a weekday, you know, 35 eggs in all, complete week. But in this one, you see the ones that say F on it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that say F. Those ones are going to be special, and I'll have to do a video on that. That's my bird, Fugly. When she was first born, she was pretty ugly. She was, I didn't know what she was, some kind of silky hatch cross or something, I didn't know. I thought something jumped the fence or something like that. But it turns out she's a frizzle silky. Her feathers grow kind of backwards. But not all of them, just her underneath ones. Ones over on her back and stuff are like straight but super defined, and she can fly. And I bred her with my most beautiful silky I've ever had, Lucky, which he's like half orange, black and brown. So I'm interested to see what they hatch, because they're beautiful, and I love silkies. They're just for fun. They make me happy. But that's this is pretty much as good as it gets for home hatching, I would think. I mean, this has the capability right here to hatch, I don't know, something like 12 a week. I mean, if you rotate them, do 12 in, 12 out, that's a lot of chickens. I mean, I've had it where with this setup, I've had it where right outside in my little barn over there, with the little run and stuff, I had like 250 chickens in there in like no time from this setup. And I mean, it don't take long, and you got like serious big bunch to take to the chicken, festival or the sale, and it works out. But like normal, I think I talked a lot and too much. Bye.